Hi everyone, Julia Sheehan here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Brisbane, Queensland. Today I'd like to show you the card that I made for my Onstage swaps. I made it using this little Santa here, I'll get the glare off that, from the So Santa stamp set. He's so cute and with his little surfboard and everything. And I was really trying to work out what I would put with him to make him very tropical, and then it struck me this beautiful little hibiscus flower from the Tropical Chic stamp set was just perfect for it. So that's what I did. I used that. I used the tropical Thinlit dies to cut that out, and I cut that 120 times. So you have to have patience if you're going to do multiples of it. However, I sat in front of the TV and just cut them all out. And I'm glad I did. So I did 20 of these cards. I did 20 of the mugs that I did last week and 20 of another project that I will show you probably next week. So if you've got everything cut out, you can do it as a production line and it works out really well. Now, what we need for this project is, whoops, throwing everything around. Sorry, I already started this video before and had a bit of a coughing fit, so I stopped and started again. But we need a piece of lemon lime twist. I'm doing it in the lemon lime twist today. And that is 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 of an inch. 2 pieces of the Whisper White cut down to 5 6/8 of an inch by 4 inches. And you need a small piece of lemon lime twist, which is 2 3/8 of an inch by 1 inch, a piece of Whisper White measuring 2 2/8 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch. And I think I said we need 2 pieces of the Whisper White, didn't I, for the inside and the outside of the card. Okay, and what you do the center with comes from the circles that you do. Now, what I did, I didn't attach my Whisper White to the front of the card first, after folding and scoring it, of course. I have to take my glasses off for this, which means I can't read things that are further away, but I'll do my best. So, oh, wrong one. What I did, and what I do with these particular cards, is I open up the card again and just line this up. Now you can hold it down with a piece of washi tape or whatever you like. I find if I put it on the big shot and I'm just careful, it sits there really well, and I just cut the piece out. And I had a fair bit of practice doing this card. Now I used the layering circles. From the center, I used the 5th, 6th and 7th one. For this, I used the 6th one. And I just lined the whole thing up and then sat it on there where I wanted it to be. Now, what I did was I actually did the flowers first, a few of them, just so I could work that out. And I have the flowers so they don't go over the edge of the card, but they can overlap the circle. As you can see here, when you open the card, they're overlapping the edges. And I actually like that. I didn't want it to be just placed around it. So, to me, that's a good position for that to be in. I'll move it over a little bit so I feel like it's centered. And then what I would do is go to the big shot, just place that on the platform and cut that out. Now, what comes back is this. And you can do both layers at once. It goes through both layers easily. And then you've got this white center and your lemon lime twist one, and you've got the front of your card already done. And then I glue it on, only because I like to make sure, whoops, then I did the wrong side, that there is glue right round the circle. I hate it when you see the edges of things lift up, and maybe that's being a little pedantic, I don't know, but I just, when I give someone something, I like to make sure that I've done it to the best of my ability. And you know, you don't want it to sort of start to peel back or open up or not be as good as you could have done with it. So that's the reason that I don't put this on until after. And because you've cut them at the same time, your circles are going to line up perfectly anyway. So you just put your card down. And then you can just flip it over to make sure there's no white showing here, and that way you know you've got it lined up how you had it go through the big shot. And I'm happy with that. And it will all be stuffed down. And then we stick the inside onto the card as well. And I've done that with this one here. Already popped that in there, only because, as I said, I started this video and then had a coughing fit, so some of the things I had done already. Now, what you do for the Santa is you use this circle that you've cut out of there, and you stamp him just in black and put him as centered as you can onto this, because you're actually going to cut this out. There he is. And then what you do is you get the smallest of those three circles and you cut him out of that, just making sure that the tip of his surfboard is in and the starfish is in. So you put that through the big shot and come back with that. So there's the smaller one. Okay, and then you'll colour this in, and I used all of the colours here: Highland Heather, Mango Melody, Bermuda Bay, Pineapple Punch, Melon Mambo, and the Lemon Lime Twist. Now you can do this with any colours you've got, so you just choose the colours that you like. These are the colours that I wanted to use. And because I didn't do anything with the Highland Heather, and the reason I didn't was I didn't have any of that cardstock, I still incorporated the Highland Heather in either the umbrella or the board shorts, or somewhere in the picture with Santa, so that all the colours matched in. Okay, so once you've coloured that in, you then glue it to the centre of the disc that you cut out with it originally. And you end up with this. There he is, and they're the colours I've chosen for him for this particular colour card. Because you cut that out of here, it's going to fit perfectly back through there. So I had to take this off before, because that, as I say, everything went messy when I started coughing. Okay, now you just sit that right there in the centre of your card. And because it came from this card, it's going to open up perfectly onto that. So it looks like that. And then we get, I'll just use this one as an example. This beautiful little hibiscus flower, which I absolutely love. And it stamps so well. Look at that. This beautiful little flower. And I just did that in a production line, did heaps of them ready to be cut out. and it just stamps so beautifully. It's such an easy stamp to use. So then I ended up with 6 of those, which I'd already put through the big shot. It's just a matter of popping it on and having patience. I used the magnetic platform and it worked perfectly fine. I didn't have any hassles with it, so it was good. And then all we do is attach them to the card with dimensionals. Now, whatever card is my base colour, and in this case it's the Lemon Lime Twist, that's the colour flower that goes at the top. So you'll see here, Bermuda Bay, it's at the top. Mango Melody, it's at the top there. And I just tried to work that out with the colour I used at the top, my base colour, and then the bottom colour is the other colour in the surfboard. And then I work out not having too, like, I wouldn't have too heavy colours on one side, so I like to sort of mix that around as well. So anyway, we'll pop the Lemon Lime Twist on, and I think I'll put it like that. It's just slightly overlapping the edge, which I think is kind of nice. And then the other colour I used was the Mango Melody, so I'll pop that on there. And again, I'll just have a little bit of that. Oh, look, I do apologise. I will go back one step here. I forgot the framing. Seven and 6 together, and through the big shot, comes back like this, so that you get the frame. You also get another circle that you can use for another project, but you get the frame for around here. And I'm so sorry I forgot to do that, and luckily I've still got time to pop that on. And all that is glued on. And it looks perfectly fine without it, but I was just trying to pick up as much as a Lemon Lime Twist as I could with, or whichever colour it was, with this particular card. So I can still slide that under that flower there, and just slide that on. And that will sit right there and just gives me a nice little frame to the front of the card like that. Sorry I forgot that. Now I've stuck my flower to the back instead of the front. I'm having a great day here. So now I'm going to pop that one on there like that, and then I try and put the stronger colours separate from each other. And I'm thinking that might be nice. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. You can put them anywhere you like, really. Just, I'll try and balance the colours out a bit if I can. And see, the same here, you don't want it to overlap the edge of your card if you're going to post it. If you're not, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter that it overlaps the edge of the framing of Santa. And just sort of line those up with each other, keeping that one in on that edge as well. And about there. You can see that this would go together very quickly if you wanted to make a heap of them. And you're using up all the bits you cut out as well, which is really good. Okay, so there's that there. Right, we're nearly done. Now all we have to do is the sentiment, which I used from that same stamp set. I used the one here that says, wishing you a season of warm memories and sunny smiles. I think that's really nice. I'm going to do it in the lemon lime twist. I used a cross section of all of my Stampin Blends, and I used the ivory one for his skin tone, and I used what I had in the colours that are in this, in my Stampin Blends, and what I didn't, I used my aqua pen and the stamp pads to do the rest. The lemon lime twist was one of those as well. And I made sure that the brush was as dry as I could get it. Otherwise you get a bit of bleeding if you've got too much water on it, so make sure that you don't have a lot of water on it. And just a little tip when you're colouring in with your Stampin Blends, when you're doing intricate little spots, and if you look in here you can see I've done green leaves, and I actually had a ring in on that. That's the Shaded Spruce I used for the little green leaves, but Bermuda Bay, the light Bermuda Bay, was the material for the board shorts. Now, instead of trying to colour and get into those tiny little areas, dot it. If you dot it onto, where's a scrap piece of paper? If you just dot it on with your thin end, it just spreads out enough that if you keep dotting it, you don't actually have to draw it like that. You're trying to colour it in, because sometimes you'll go over the edge. But if you dot it in those tiny spots, it all joins up. It just seems to bleed out enough that it will fill those spaces. That's just a tip so that you don't go over the lines. It's just something that I do. I found it worked quite well one day. Okay, and then all we do is we center this up as best we can and hope that we get it straight on that little piece. And wishing you a season of warm memories is done. Pop that there for a minute, bring this in, and then all I'm going to do is to glue that on like that. I'm going to shut that stamp pad too. I have the fan going. It's so hot here today. My daughter lives up in Townsville, and they were expecting 40, I think, today, which is way too hot. Okay, we'll get our card back here, and then I just pop this on dimensionals as well. Now, I always do 3 dimensionals on these. I just like to have some support across the middle. I know it's probably not necessary, but there's me with the overkill again. It's just what I do. Okay, and then we're just going to make sure, just holding that lightly above the card, that you've centered it as best you can, and that it's straight, hopefully. There we are, and glue it down, just dimensional it down, and there's your card. So all the different colours, and the pink one in there as well, and the pineapple punch, and they look really lovely. Anyway, everyone, that's it for today. That's my little take on a nice tropical Christmas card. Now, if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it, and please click on the bell and you'll be notified. I do a YouTube every week, and that way you'll be able to see what I do. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like one, I would be happy to help you out there, or if you have any questions or anything you want to know, please don't hesitate to ask. There is a link to my online store if you want any of these things, and I will list them in the description below as to what I used. But until next time, Have a wonderful week. Everybody take care, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.